Hello everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, a piece of blue glass moon. So last time CL and Shiki had the talk, right? It was a really long talk, but by the end CL got angry because Shiki kept insisting that our Kuwait is okay, is good, is nice, right? So she got angry and let Shiki out of the tea ceremony room. So anyways, let us continue. Let's see what happens today. I shout a retort at CL and bolt out of the tea ceremony room. I don't stop squaring my shoulders as I dash through the hallways back to my classroom.
なんだよ、子供扱いして。先輩だって頑固じゃないか。アルクエイドを嫌うばっかりで、俺の話を全然。
No. She didn't refuse to hear me out entirely. She let me say my piece and listened patiently. I just got myself all worked up about Arcade. The thing about Shiki here is, sure, we have some choices in this route still, but yeah, he likes both of them. Arcade and then CL. He cannot choose between the both of them. He wants both of them at the same time. And of course, for CL, she's gonna say that, yeah, don't hang out with Arcade anymore because, yeah, she's a vampire, true ancestor, dead apostle, or whatever, right? But Shiki's like, no, Arcade is fine. But CL says no, and yeah, here we are.
でも分からず屋なのは変わらないし。俺から謝ったりしないからな、もう。
On the brink of calming down, I force myself to keep racing down the hallway. I feel like if I stop now, I'll end up going back to the tea ceremony room to apologize. I'm not sure I can say the same about me, but I know Arcade hasn't done anything wrong. So no matter how conflicted I feel, there's no turning back.
おや、昼休みも終わろって時にえらくしけた顔で戻ってきたな。ははん、購買部の袋を持ってるってことはろくなもん残ってなかったな。
He's actually here though, yeah, lunchtime, right? The boy who ran away because he was afraid of getting a shot is back, wearing a look of perfect innocence. But now that he mentions it, I realize that I'm still holding the food I planned on eating with CL. Lunch ends in 10 minutes. I'm in no state to eat right now, physically or mentally.
アリヒコ、お前、腹の様子は？
まあ8分目ぐらいかね。何？くれんの？
ああ、食べてくれ。ちょっと今は入りそうにない。
I hand Ariko the bag from the school store.
そういうことなら喜んで。お、カレーパン多めだな。というかカレーパンしかないな。あとは牛乳だな。趣味どうかしているな。
Ariko digs in without a second thought. Fifth period is minutes away, but at that pace, he'll have no trouble finishing it. The bell rings, bringing lunch to an end. Drowning in self-loathing, I put my head down on my desk and wait for the fifth period to start. I still feel strangely depressed even after school is over. There's no one else in the classroom. After school club activities has been suspended because of the serial killer, so most students have gone home. Silence has retaken the school. Looks like CL is true to her word. There's not a single sign that she'll be coming.
いや、別に気にしてないし。単に休んでいただけだし。もうさっさと帰るからな。
I mumbled to no one in particular.
メール？
My phone goes off as I leave the classroom to go home. I take my phone out of my bag. Unexpectedly, the text is from Miss Noel. All it says is this: "Are you free right now? There's something I want to show you. Don't tell CL, okay?" Attached is an address along with a screenshot of a map. Well, why not? I don't know what she wants, but it might take my mind off things. If I go back to the mansion like this, I'll probably just be depressed all night. Okay, we're gonna meet with Miss Noel instead. Miss Noel episode today? The abandoned factory outside of the town that shut down a few years back. Administrative building, 4th floor. That's where the message said to meet.
ここでいいんだよな。
I am standing in front of the fire escape. This is a pretty sketchy meeting place, but I know I got the right address. I shove all the doubts back down. It'd be stupid to leave now after coming all this way. Might as well head up the stairs. If Miss Noel's not here, I'll just head home. I begin to climb the rusted stairs, careful not to make a sound. With the whole building having been abandoned, the stairs are in disrepair.
これ、崩れないだろうな。
I gingerly put one foot in front of the other. Then I hear something moving. It can't be the sound of wind.
今の足音、上からだな。
The sound gets louder the further up I go. Before long, I reach the 4th floor. As a metal door stands before me. My hand goes to the doorknob, which turns easily. It's unlocked. I hear the noise coming from within. What is that sound? Yeah, it's like something is slapping something. I open the door and peer into the room. It's dark, completely closed off from the outside. Naturally, there is no electricity, so all the lights are off. But deep inside, I see several flashes of a light.
ノエル先生。
Also, I guess she's killing vampires again. Yeah, it's kind of like that sound, right? I call out before entering.
来てくれたのね、四季くん。ごめんなさい、迎えに行けなくて。とにかく入って入って。
Miss Noel's voice cuts through the darkness. I guess this was the right place after all. As I let go of the doorknob, the weight of the door causes it to close on its own. I squint my eyes in the dark. Before I even have a chance to wonder what's in the room, I instinctively cover my nose. A familiar stench assails my nostril. The sticky floor squelches under my feet. I slip my knife into my sleeve for easy access and proceed toward the back of the room. And there I see two vampires, each gagged and bound to a chair. Their bodies twitching and convulsing, so she's basically torturing them. These two are the source of the stench. The noise I heard came from them smashing their heels against the floor in an attempt to ease the suffering. Their feet are sizzling, scorched by the light, and closing the chairs. Foam flows out of their gags and drips down their chin, an involuntary response to pain of being burned alive. How long have been they roasting like this? The muscles around their throats are so taut from constant screaming that bone is showing through. Their writhing bodies are covered in blood. It pours out of the wounds, not only sustained from struggling against their bonds, but carved into them by a variety of instruments.
こっちよ、しきくん。シエルさんには内緒にしてくれた？
Blood and flesh splatter on the floor and walls. The air in this room feels just like it did in those passages under the department store. In the middle of it all is Noelle, smiling from ear to ear as she looks down at the two men tied to the chairs.
ノエル先生。
The thought of even asking what this is makes me sick. Instead, I implore the woman in front of me to explain through my gaze alone.
わからない？しきくんには何度も助けられたし、いい機会だから私たちのお仕事を見せてあげようと思って。それにほら、この子たちのこと覚えてる？
She didn't even have to ask. I recognized them right away. The two tied to the chairs are the same two that led me below the department store.
そういうこと。私だけで始末してもいいんだけど、あなたもこいつらには貸しがあるでしょ？だから仕返しさせてあげようと思って。はーい、お待ちかねの懺悔タイムよ、君たち。もう誰もやってこないし、防音は完璧だし、無粋なおしゃぶりは取っちゃいましょうね。
She takes a gag of one of the vampires. The vampire makes a wet guttural noise like a clogged pump spewing water. It coughs violently as it spits up the saliva and blood that was trapped in its mouth, then looks up at its captor. Its eyes are filled with neither hate nor bloodlust. Such defiance was a glimmer of hope that faded many hours ago.
やだ。やだ。嫌なんです。死にたくない。死にたくない。せっかく不死身になったのに、こんなところで死にたくない。もうやめてください。許してください。助けてください。こんなのってないです。いくらなんでもあんまりです。俺たちだって被害者なんです。
It is nothing but a miserable wretch now. So weak, so fragile, it's barely one step away from death. It begs for mercy with its every fiber of its being, prays desperately for life. Humans have a tendency to sympathize with the weak no matter the situation. They also possess the intelligence to judge the present independently of the past. The treatment of criminals is one example of this. No matter how great the atrocity committed, a powerless prisoner may be granted a chance at forgiveness and a new life. Denying them this mercy or allowing it as an act of human kindness is a right. This woman has no mercy. After listening to the weakling beg for its life, she begins her meticulous work, torturing it in accordance with a number of pleas. She starts from the fingers, moving to the wrist, then the elbow, and finally the shoulder before switching sides. Once its other arm is gone too, she swaps out her tools and sets to work on its insides. No longer interested in cutting and crushing, she takes up tools for stabbing and burning. It's as though she's cooking. She's like a chef filleting a live fish, only with entirely different techniques and principles. A chef employs a measured technique to cut the fish without killing it, based on the principle that it should be kept as fresh as possible. But not this woman. For one thing, she has no technique to speak of. The only reason her catch is still alive is because of its natural tenacity. Though it could be argued that she is driven by a certain culinary principle. That is, the goal of savoring her meal. She is processing the live, leaving its vocal organs intact to the very end. Just so she can savor it every scream.
やめ入れないで戻し入れないでその蓋を閉じないで
The scream stops before long, not because it has died, but because its body no longer occupies the chair. The woman has taken the vampire's body apart piece by piece, leaving only the head. She stuffs all its parts into a 50cm square box and shuts the lid. The other vampire's face is twisted in horror, having watched it all from the beginning to the end, or rather having been forced to watch it all. Their eyelids have been removed, making it impossible for them to avert their gaze. Gusts of wind steeped in the blood howl through the room. A desperate scream, no doubt a plea for life, spills out of an opening in its gag.
どう？この海底の吸血鬼に痛覚はないんだけど、特別にこいつらにも通じる道具でバラバラにしてあげてるの。たった1日の審問時間しかないんだもの。これぐらいはやらないと、この子たちに騙されて殺された人たちの無念は晴らせないでしょ？
You are very crazy, lady. Come on. The woman takes her eyes off the vampire and approaches me, her every step accompanied by a squish. In her hand, she holds an antique tool resembling like a coping saw.
さあ、四季君もどうぞ。これは洗礼済みの器具だから、素人が使っても効能は発揮されるわ。切れ味は悪いけど、その分頑丈で、吸血鬼は触れた箇所から焼かれていくから、返り血も出ない優れものよ。いきなり首を切るのも悪くないけど、初めはやっぱり小指からの方が簡単だから、できるだけ苦しめて殺しちゃって。
She offers me the saw. Oh, we got a choice now, okay. So we can choose follow her lead, poetic justice. I mean, if I choose this, it is definitely gonna end bad, yeah, for sure, because we're gonna follow her. Want no part of this. No, we'll do this one first. For sure, this is gonna lead to something.
何？やっぱりシエルさんと学生ごっこやってる四季君には荷が重い？
She derides me and eggs me on in one breath. Anyway.
まあ、いいですけど。
え？
My own indifference catches me off guard.
そう？その割には嫌そうな顔してるけど。
嫌ですよ。面倒事なんだから。
I walk towards a chair to which the once human creature is bound.
人の子。
I almost said forceps, but hold back the urge to play surgeon.
はい、どうぞ。やり方わかる？教えてあげましょうか？
先生のやり方は見ていました。最終的に その箱に入れればいいんですよね。
The eyeballs desperately looking up at me could pop out of their sockets at any moment. Praying to be saved. Begging for mercy. On the verge of exploding, they plead with me, shedding tears as they swear to do whatever I ask. I understand that feeling given the situation. That same look was all over the place in that morgue beneath the department store. They knew no rescue would come. They knew they would never be human again. But yet for as long as their intelligence remained, they continued to look for a hope that didn't exist. But anyway, I wonder if this thing remembers my face.
やっぱりこれじゃうまくないな。
I drop the saw to the floor. The creature's pupils shrink as if a light has been shown up upon them.
あなた。
だって時間の無駄でしょ。
I take off my glasses and draw my knife. Then he kills the vampire. I glide my knife smoothly through the neck of the being bound to the chair. Retribution, requiem, condemnation, it all seems so unnecessary. Acting in response to the past is far too human. If one decides to kill, then one should simply kill. Unlike this woman, I don't have such energy to spare. To think about the future, I must be detached from the present. I hear the woman's breath coming from behind me. At first, I was filled with revulsion towards my work, but that has been replaced by admiration.
不傷不傷だったのは道具に不満があったからです。先生の趣味に文句があったわけじゃない。
More precisely, I don't have much of an opinion on it.
あとはこれをしまえばいいんですよね。先生、やってくれますか？
やるやる、任せて。うわ、何これすごい。頭蓋骨そのままなのに脳丸ごと出てる。うわ、心臓止まってるのになんでまだ脳生きてるの？
Jesus. I wonder if she could, or she, or he should consider himself lucky or unlucky that I didn't see any lines on his brain.
じゃあ、俺はこれで。
待って、下にシャワーあるから使って、汚れ取っていって。私もここ片付けたらすぐ行くから。
Perhaps it's because I was too efficient, but the malice in her has dissipated. She's gone back to the woman I know as Noelle. But I must say, when all is said and done, that wasn't such a bad experience. Okay, that was actually something though. I thought they were actually gonna fight. Because she could kill the vampires, right? And then I thought Noelle would be like, why did you do that? I was playing with those things. But I guess nothing happened. We leave the building and go down into the sunlit alleyway. The moment I breathe in the outside air, I feel normal. My feelings had turned to ice in there. Though I'm still not quite sure why. Maybe the air inside the factory shut out my ability to reason like a decent person.
使徒と戦うってことがどんなことなのか、ちゃんと教えておこうと思って。 ほら、保健室で四季くん、シエルさんの意見に文句がありそうだったから。それでピンときたの。あなたは私と同じで、吸血鬼から町を守りたい人なんだって。なら、お互いの心情は知っておくべきじゃない？
Protecting the town from vampires, I have no objections to that, though I'm not sure where it falls on her list of priorities. But her excessive methods, which I took or just took part in, give me pause.
俺の心情は単純ですよ。知ってしまったから無視できないし、先輩の助けになりたいだけです。それより、ノエル先生は反対しないんですか？シエル先輩は、一般人は吸血鬼には関わらせないと言っていました。
なんで？吸血鬼を殺すのはいいことだし、特別な力があるのなら、人々のために使うべきでしょ？教会の代行者だからとか、普通の男子生徒だからとか、そんなの関係ないわ。私は、四季くんの勇気に拍手を送りたい気分だけど。
She's completely on board with looping me into their affairs. I thought the same thing back in the nurse's office, but the two of them seems to be at odds. CL tells me not to fight. Miss Noel tells me I should. I'm starting to feel like I owe CL an apology. Comparing their opinions side by side, it's easy to see who's acting out of a humane concern for my well-being.
それにしてもシエルさんにも困ったものね。事態を一日でも早く収束させることが最善の手段なのに、四季くんの協力を拒んだり、優先度の低い調査を始めたり、気が緩んでるんじゃないかしら。ま、それも演技なんでしょうけど、あの冷酷な悪魔がたった数日で変わるはずがないんだし。
冷酷って、シエル先輩のどこが？
I'm curious about what she said, of course, but the way she's acting has caught my attention too. It's just a hunch, but I feel there's truth hidden in her mumbling.
ほら分かってない。あの子が誰にも優しい、底抜けの善人だとでも思っていたんでしょ？ほんとバカらしい。あれはただの掃除屋で、人間らしい感情なんてありっこないの。いい意識くん。あの子の笑顔は全部作り物だから。
The smile is a lie.
その方が仕事を進めやすいからそうしてるだけで。君だって騙されているだけなのよ。
My body lurches forward unconsciously, but I can't refute her words. How can I defend CL when I just picked a fight with her earlier today?
あら、思うところがあったみたいね。君もうすうす感づいてたってこと？ちょっと脅かして様子を見るだけだったけど、そういうことなら私も踏み込んであげる。四季くん、シエルさんのことを知りたいんでしょ？あの子がどんな人間なのか、どうせあの子は話さないだろうから、特別に私が教えてあげる。
There's a hint of malice in Miss Noel's smile. Warning sirens go off in my head, telling me this isn't something I should listen to, fighting against this impulse to know more about CL. But I can't resist. Seeming to enjoy the conflict she's raging inside me, Miss Noel begins to tell me about CL's past. Okay.
私たち代行者は二人一組が基本だけど、狩りの成功率は高くない。大抵どちらかが死ぬか、両方とも殺されて終わりって世界よ。も もし10年以上代行者をやってる奴がいたら、そいつはそれだけで立派な異常者として扱われる。心が壊れているか、とっくに吸血鬼化しているのに隠しているとか、まあ、いろいろ陰口言われるわけ。そんなひっどい職場で、あの子は何体もの吸血鬼を殺してきた。どんなにひどい使徒が相手でも生き残る。どんなにずる賢い使徒が相手でも正体を突き止める。成功率は実に 100%。ほとんど奇跡よ、こんなの。あの子が鬼子の扱いじゃなきゃ聖女認定されてるくらい。まあ、それができたのはほんと単純な理由なんだけど、それはまた後で話すとしましょう。
So meaning she is really good.
代行者シエルの名前は人たちにも知れ渡ってる。13歳で代行者になった吸血鬼狩りのエリート。代行者になってからもひたすら使徒を殺し続けて、ついには埋葬機関にまでスカウトされた。吸血鬼を殺すためだけに生きてるマシン。君も見たでしょ？グローブなんて怪物と渡り合っていたもう一人のモンスターの姿を。
I feel compelled to deny what she's saying, but I can't stop the story here. And strangely, although Miss Noelle is describing Ciel as a monster, her voice doesn't sound condescending. If anything, it's filled with reverence.
ああ、埋葬機関っていうのは私たちにとって、そうね、教会の中の違い法権。権力に近寄れない代わりに権力に縛られない。動く武器庫みたいなものと思って。ごく少数で組織された公安警察みたいな。埋葬機関は他の秘跡会と連携を取る局長と、その局長に管理される7人の代行者で構成されている。本当は予備の代行者がもう一人いて、実践要員は8人いるらしいんだけど、大司教から自由行動の特権を許されたのは7人だけ。それ以上増やすのは危険と判断されたのね。局長ナルバレックを筆頭に集まった、それぞれが一つの秘跡会に匹敵する聖人のなり損ない。枢機卿ノイセオナトール・グランファテマ、司祭アンドレイ・ゴット・ビバーク、シスターキアラ・キッショーイン、エクソシストミスター・ダウン。5人目は知らないけど、6人目が代行者アーガレオン。そして最後が私たちの知っているあの子。弓の称号を贈られた第7位、代行者シエルってこと。
I actually wanna see all of them. Yeah.
あの子は殺したわよ。私なんか比べ物にならないぐらい殺してきた。相手が女子供でも容赦なく殺してきた。代行者になってから吸血鬼狩りをしてない日はないんじゃないかってぐらいに。1日、1週間、1ヶ月。何の不平も不満もなく、あの子は淡々と仕事をこなしてきた。私が聞いた中で一番長かったのは、たった一人の使徒を殺すために1年間、その町の下水路に潜伏していたって話。その使徒は町そのものを監視できる異能があって、部外者や異常に敏感な使徒だった。で、あの子が選んだ手段は、排水溝からの侵入と潜伏。下水路すら使徒にとっては血管みたいなものだったけど、その血管の中を流れる汚物にまでは感覚が届かなかったのね。秘跡も魔術も使えば感知される状況だったから、あの子は黒剣のエオインに飲み込んで下水に入っていった。この国の整備された下水じゃない。汚物で詰まったヨーロッパの下水路で、体を汚水に浸して顔だけを水面に出してギリギリの呼吸をして、ただ機会を待ち続ける1年間。ほんと、想像するだけで 寒気がする。この件ばっかりは吸血鬼に同情するわ。町を完全に支配下に置いて、やってきた代行者も全員殺して、ようやく自由に闊歩できると安心しきった人が広場に踏み出した瞬間、下水溝の網の下から一撃で即死よ。蛇だってあの子の執念深さには尻尾を巻くわ。私と組むまであの子はずっとそんな調子だった。わかる？吸血鬼を殺すことだけに特化した非人間。それがシエルなの。私たちと同じ普通の人間だなんて思わない方が身のためよ。
I had my suspicions, but CL's past is beyond what I could have imagined. It's natural that Arcuade hates CL, and that CL sees Arcuade as her enemy. But even so, I can't think of her as someone whose sole purpose is to kill the vampires.
先輩のことは分かりました。でもノエル先生は、先生も代行者なら先輩と同じなんですか？
私が？冗談やめて。あんなのと一緒にしないで。私は至って普通の人間よ。あんな風に周りを騙せないし、割り切ることだってできない。そもそも代行者としての才能がなかったの、私。修道院に3年入ってやっと半人前だった。それでも人並みには頭が回ったから、司祭様に取り入って2年かけてやっと代行者になったの。それから2年ぐらい経った後かな、あの子と知り合ったのは。あの子は埋葬期間に入ったばかりで相棒がいなかった。私は頼りになる相棒が欲しかった。ほら、あとはわかるでしょ？同郷のよしみもあったし、私たちは晴れてチーム成立。それから5年。あの子の活躍のおかげで、私はまだ生き延びてる。
Hold up. Stop right there. I heard a few questionable things throughout her story, but they set my alarm bells ringing. Did she just say 5 years?
ちょっと待ってください。先輩と5年も一緒だったんですか？
そう言ったつもりだけど、私たち5年来の師弟関係だもの。
5 years?
でもそれじゃ。
How do I put this?
年齢が合わないでしょ？当然よ。あの人、あの時から年を取ってないの。
Since the incident. I plant my feet firmly, fighting the urge to pass out from the shock. She hasn't changed in 5 years. I can't tell if that's a truth or a lie. I can't even tell what about the 5 years has me dumbfounded.
そんな。それじゃあ、まるで。
そう。吸血鬼と同じよね。でもあの子は吸血鬼とは違う。だって完全な不老不死なんだもの。
So she's not a vampire, obviously, but she has immortality. My breath catches in my throat. Through immortality, that's insane. Miss Noel has to be lying. Not even vampires have been able to achieve that.
いいえ。あの子は本当に何をやっても死なないのよ。殺しても蘇る。体が燃え尽きて灰になっても元通りになっている。何が起きてもあの姿のまま生き続ける。
So even if you burn her to ashes, she's gonna be okay?
あの子はね、分類的には吸血鬼なのよ。私たちと違って 一つの命にすがっていない。だから死を怖がらず、目的を達成するまで永遠に走り続ける。
So if we left her with Volov, it would have been fine, I guess. Yeah, because she's not gonna die anyways, is that it?
成功率 100% の理由ってこういうこと。簡単でしょ？あの子に狙われた吸血鬼は、もう絶対に逃げられないんだから。
じゃあ、ノエル先生とシエル先輩は？
そう。私が弟子で、彼女が師匠よ。さっきのやり方だって、あの人の真似事。いえ、あの人の手札はもっと凄惨かな。あの人、大抵の拷問は体験済みだから、やられるのもやるのも、寒気がするほど上手なのよ。わかってくれた？代行者シエルは、吸血鬼と同じ化け物なんだって。人のことを何とも思っていない殺戮者。でも吸血鬼を殺して回る分だけは、生きていていい権利がある。
This seems to be the point Noelle was building up to. I clawed my chest, spurring my lungs back into action. I can't believe myself. What does it matter what kind of person CL is or if she's really immortal or not? I'm furious that I let Noelle's words get under my skin.
今にも倒れちゃいそうね、四季くん。やっぱりショックだった？
ええ。頭にくるぐらいショックです。それより、なんだってこんなことを話す気になったんですか、先生は。これ。
そうだけど、あなたの考え違いを正してあげたかったの。私が言うのもなんだけど、助けてもらったからって、簡単に心を許しちゃダメよ。
No, I know that's a lie. CL isn't using me, she never has. I'm the one who wanted to help. She's always looked out for me, not once has she ever asked me to do anything.
そうなんだ。まあ、仮にそうだとしても、始まりが不正なのは変わらないわ。四季くん、あの人に暗示をかけられていたことさえ気づいてないんだから。
Her words freeze my thoughts.
暗示。
This time, I'm really going to pass out.
そうよ。あの人は自分に好意を持つように、四季くんを操っていた。嘘だと思うなら思い出してみなさい。あなたはいつからシエルと知り合いなの？あの子を先輩と呼ぶようになったのは、どんなきっかけだった？
When did we meet? I didn't even have to try to remember. CL is a third year at my school and I've known her since I was a first year. Since I was a first year?
Oh.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I have no memory of spending time with CL at school. The first memory I can recall, I guess, is from the train in the beginning, right? Yeah, this one. Is running into her on the train. Now that I think about it, when did I meet CL? I don't even know which class she's in. Thank you, Tono. Her words, that smile. That's all it took for me to think that I'd always known her.
嘘。
One thing in particular gives me a feeling of unease. Everyone called her CL like it was the most normal thing in the world. How did no one ever question a name like that?
ほら見なさい。私だって赴任して仰天したわ。いくら筆跡に耐性のない一般人でも、100人200人に暗示をかけるなんて、並大抵の魔力量じゃないもの。 さすがは第7位ってところかしらね。それとも、暗示だからこれだけのことができたのかしら。暗示は所詮暗示。印象の操作に過ぎないものね。記憶そのものをいじる洗脳とは違うんだし。四季君たちはきっと、シエルを疑問に思わない、ということだけを刷り込まれていたんでしょうね。
That's right. I did feel like something was off at first, but those doubts faded the more I saw her. Anywhere she went, it felt completely natural for her to be there. That's what was so distinctive about CL.
でも、それは。
That doesn't mean she's lying to me. She had a good reason for it.
俺たちを危険にさらさないために黙っていただけでしょ。
ええ、一般生徒にはね。でも四季君はもう違う。あの地下を知った以上、暗示は解いてあげるべきだった。それに、教えてあげるべきことを黙っている。というのは思いやりになるのかしら。知られたら都合が悪いから、黙っているだけじゃないの？
I have no arguments left. Now all I can do is look down and breathe deep, like I'm sticking my head in the sand.
これで分かったでしょ？あの人がいい子ちゃんに見えるのは全部演技なんだって。ええ。演技でなかったら、今までの冷酷ぶりは何だったっていうの？
I hear footsteps treading on grass. Lifting my head, I see that she's made her way to the exit of the courtyard.
話はこれでおしまいよ。そろそろあの人もここを見つけるだろうし、四季君と密会していたなんて知られたら何をされるかわからないわ。最悪、四季君と私、もう用済みだからって消されるかも。そもそも四季君は知っちゃいけないことをたくさん知っちゃったし、なんであれ、証拠隠滅はしなくっちゃね。
証拠隠滅って何を？
そう。それはこれからの行動次第よ、四季君。あの子の機嫌を損なわないよう、あの子に見逃してもらえるよう、せいぜい頑張ってみれば？ま、仕事が全部終わった後は、いつも通り、死人に口なしってオチでしょうけど。
I feel an indignant impulse to protest flare up within me. That's not how things will end, even if CL has to keep everything quiet. She said she'd only erase my memories. But I wonder, how could she really erase everything that's happened this week and nothing else?
そうそう。そういう顔してもらわないと危険を冒した甲斐がないわ。それじゃあね、四季君。今日の話をちゃんと胸に留めて、私みたいに何もかも台無しにされないよう気をつけて。
待て。
I call out to her to stop, but it's already too late. The woman who summoned me in another world laid the truth on me and left with a smile on her face. I feel uneasy, like a spider has taken up residence inside my skull. Shaking my head to clear away the webs I leave behind the factory and its walls dripping with red.
お帰りなさいませ。 四季様。
ただいま翡翠。ごめん。ちょっと頭が痛いんだ。少しだけ休むから、夕食になったら呼びに来てくれ。
Okay, so let's take a break here for now. But yeah, that was a lot. I actually thought we were gonna end up in a bad ending when we chose that with Miss Noelle. But I guess nothing really happened though. Yeah, it's this one. So the same. I guess it's gonna be much more faster. If we chose the other one, we would end up here much more faster. While this one, we had, I guess, a little bit more scenes, correct? But yeah, we kind of learned a little of CL's past. Not really a lot, just a little. We'll learn more probably from CL herself, and well, that is interesting though. True immortality. But we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. So anyways, we're gonna continue this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.